Hey, what's happening, Barnaby here? Another HelloLife moment with my friend and compadre, Dr. Jeffrey Chamberlain, who is a family medicine specialist. So let's talk about this, gout.
Yeah.
Because some people have gout, apparently. I have never had gout, never known anybody with gout. Have you had gout?
Actually, I have had gout. During my first year of medical school, I was running on a regular basis, and one morning I woke up in the middle of the night, and my toe was killing me. Excruciating pain. I thought I broke something when I was running. This is before I knew about gout. I thought I must. It was so bad. I knew I had to have broke something while I was running, and like a bone chip or something got into the joint.
Hurts that much.
And it was unbelievable pain. I went in to get looked at. They were asking about my family history, and I said, I don't know anyone with gout. And they told me, well, you got gout. Here's what to do. They sent me home. Turns out everyone in my family has gout. All my grandparents had gout. My dad has gout. And so it ran in my family. I just never knew. And I was at higher risk, and I didn't know about it until I suffered from it myself.
Ooh, the dirty family secret. Yeah. Is it something to be ashamed of? Don't tell anybody I had gout.
No, not really. Gout, it's really genetic. So a lot of cases of gout are because genes pass down, and people who basically have bad genes, so our kidneys don't filter out the uric acid as much as they should. Gout's caused because uric acid crystals form in the joint, which causes a lot of swelling, inflammation, and pain. We get uric acid in our bloodstream. It's a normal part of metabolism when we break down proteins. And then there's certain foods that have higher uric acid levels than other foods do. And so there's some foods that can put us at risk.
Click some of them off so we can steer clear of those.
So the big culprits are alcohol is a biggie. Red meats, any type of organ meat, so like kidneys or liver, all those types of things are really high. A lot of seafoods are really high also. There's some debate about nuts. Traditionally, they've always said nuts are high in purine, so they'll cause gout. But some of the most recent research, it looks like nuts don't really set off gout for people. And so nuts is still up in the air.
Well, you rattled off a bunch of mainstream foods right there, and so for that, is there a way to get like a pre-screening to see if you're predisposed to gout so you can take appropriate action?
Yeah, we usually don't screen people for it, but things to look for is if you have a lot of family members that have a history of gout, you're on higher risk. There is a blood test that looks at your uric acid level that actually does tell you if you're at higher risk. Usually this is more we check after the fact. Someone that suffers from gout, we check their uric acid levels to see if they're really high.
Okay, so let's say you get diagnosed with gout. You were in the ER complaining of the swollen toe. What do they do for you? What do they say you should do to lessen the effect or the pain of gout?
Okay. I break this up into two categories. One's what do you do while you're having an acute gouty attack? When it's flared up and painful, what do you do? And the other is what can we do to keep it from happening again in the future?
Okay.
When it's going on, it's literally so painful, you'll do about anything to get rid of the pain.
Sure.
And so there's really some good things to do, and there's some bad things to do. Good things to do include drinking plenty of fluids. Being dehydrated can set it off, and making sure you're well hydrated helps make sure the crystals aren't forming more in the joint. So staying hydrated is important. Once things are flared up and you're in a lot of pain, using anti-inflammatory medications like the ibuprofen or naproxen can be really helpful because that works on pain and the inflammation. There's an old school medication called colchicine, which works really well for gout. It also causes diarrhea, so it's not the most fun thing in the world to take. But if you're desperate, people will use it. Medication I don't like using is narcotic medication, like your Vicodins or your methadones or things like that. That covers up pain, but it doesn't get rid of the problem. The problem is inflammation. So taking anti-inflammatory medications really is the key. And then sometimes people's gout's so bad they put them on steroids to try to reduce the inflammation. There's an old-fashioned trick that I use when there's a lot of pain. I take a boar brush, like a boar hair brush, those brushes with all the tiny bristles on it, and if you just lightly rub it on your leg when you're in a lot of pain, it just modulates and brings down your total pain level. So that's actually kind of a natural way to modulate pain in general, and I recommend it for people who have gout because it's a natural way to modulate their gout pain also.
Though the pain is in your toe, say, by massaging with the boar brush,
on
your thigh, that somehow lessens
brings your pain down. And the interesting thing is it could be on your right foot, and you could do it on your left thigh, and it'll still help out with the pain.
That's interesting advice. Now, what about having gout and have it be also an indicator that you're suffering maybe from something else?
Yeah, yeah. So gout goes along with a lot of things. If you have gout, you're at a higher chance of having high blood pressure, higher chance of having diabetes, high cholesterol, higher chances of even dying from heart attacks and strokes down the road. And so it's important to make sure these things are taken care of. It's also important to make dietary changes to make sure you're avoiding the gout. So avoiding the red meats, staying well hydrated, being physically fit actually reduces the chances of gout. And so just being physically active and staying physically fit. Being overweight increases your chances of gout. Being at a healthy weight decreases. So staying at a healthy weight is important. Then there's some natural supplements that actually have been shown to help with gout. High doses vitamin C can help. Actually, drinking coffee is associated with decreased incidence of gout also. So that's another thing that people can do to help avoid gout.
Wow. Thank goodness there are some sort of treatments for the pain, ways of maybe just flushing the body through water and that sort of stuff. And I'm sorry for your only one instance of gout in your life?
Only one. Since then, I've kind of learned my lesson, and I watch what I do a lot more carefully.
Man, I tell you, it sounds awful. But, you know, if you're suffering from gout, some great information delivered once again by Dr. Jeffrey Chamberlain here. Another HelloLife moment, because we are all about matching your commitment to a healthy lifestyle. Check back whenever you can.